Yeah. Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah. Flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Hey,
now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
let's go.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Trubisky to throw, and that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
On the set. Bravo.
Go, go, go. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go, 58 is the mic. Come on.
Come on. Hit it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
I don't think you got it, sir.
Now.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Slam, slam.
Fight.
He'll look to throw. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, it's Cohen. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Trubisky to Gabriel there for Bears first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That good for 19 and a first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They'll run on second down with Cohen. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. Now Trubisky on third and long. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room.
And got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Alpha.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Forced and a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Hey, tight. Check. Showing up.
Ready.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Rabbit. Watch twist.
Big grip.
Back to throw here. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking scheme.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you...
Touchdown, Chicago! Anthony Miller, his second touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
They start the drive with Cook. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Push him back.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Hey!
Switch. Shit.
Look at me. Go. Shoot.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 4.
Go.
Say.
Leo. Hit it.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd and 12, Trubisky, open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears have taken the lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10.
Get that quarterback in line. Get that quarterback. 61, matchbox lights. Shift. Check. Crunch. Hey, high 7.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. A man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Stay with your man.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going to look to throw. Pass down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Trubisky. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Here we go. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Be driven.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So here are the Vikings to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
They'll drop the throw. He's going to fire one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, 70 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. It's been quite the game for him individually, a trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route, whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Hey, check Mike 45.
Looking to throw. And Diggs has it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
I got to shoot this up. Shoot this up. We got 3. We got 3 now.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Recon, 152 fighter.
Check. Kill.
Hey, wahoo. 5.
They'll set up a throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Kill.
Hey, lock it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, 59 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cohen. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Daniil Hunter, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Ready. Hey, box truck.
45. Mike, 45. All right.
Now back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Rip left. Get it.
2nd and 10. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Focus, defense, focus. Check 13. Check 13.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
58, right over there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Complete to Dorsett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Back to throw now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Get it?
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now on 2nd and 13, Trubisky. He's got Burton here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over. And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, exit.
They'll set up to throw, and he fires one incomplete.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this pack.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky under pressure again, and down he goes again. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Walsh adds the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job.
Let's go.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Steps away to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by George Iloka. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
To throw again on second down. Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trubisky will throw. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Completes it to Miller. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Caught by Montgomery. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Throwing here, Trubisky. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.